sorry, baby, I don't mean to be rude. I'm just a little different from all these dudes. Okay, they riding waves, me, I'm up on the cruise. You feel like me, then you got nothing to prove. I see him trying to do what I do. Even Mick Jagger couldn't move like I move. You think how it look, I'm up on the moon. Got fresh to death and it came out of the tomb. That's cause I got a different type of gratitude. Don't be sour, got my power from the Beatitudes. And we did it the long way, check out the latitude. I'm unapologetically fly, don't wonder why, that's just my attitude. Yeah, that's right, yeah, that's just my attitude. Ooh, yeah, I don't blame you, if I was you, I'd probably be getting mad too. Yeah, I know now that there ain't no better dude. That's just my attitude. Okay, that's just my. I'm sorry, homie, I don't mean to be flawless. I seen that envy in your eye when you saw this. And when you shoot your shot, it make you a target. You getting guap, they wanna take all your pockets. Ooh, hey, it's a gift how I avoid all the nonsense. Don't be a hater, it's no good for your conscience. You from this world, I'm from somewhere far beyond it. Matter of fact, man, I don't even belong here, cause I got a different type of swagger, dude. You ain't gon' find nobody like me on your avenues. Better come get me while you can, I'm just passing through. Ask me how I get this good, oh, you can blame it on my attitude. Yeah, that's right, yeah, that's just my attitude. Ooh, yeah, I don't blame you, if I was you, I'd probably be getting mad too. Yeah, I know now that there ain't no better dude. That's just my attitude. Okay, that's just my. I'm sorry, homie, I don't mean to be flawless. I seen that envy in your eye when you saw this. And when you shoot your shot, it make you a target. You getting guap, they wanna take all your pockets. Ooh, hey, it's a gift how I avoid all the nonsense. Don't be a hater, it's no good for your conscience. You from this world, I'm from somewhere far beyond it. Matter of fact, man, I don't even belong here, cause I got a different type of swagger, dude. You ain't gon' find nobody like me on your avenues. Better come get me while you can, I'm just passing through. Ask me how I get this good, oh, you can blame it on my attitude. Yeah, okay, baby, that's just my attitude. Yeah, I don't blame you, if I was you, I'd probably be getting mad too. Oh, I know now, baby, there ain't no better dude. Yeah, that's just my attitude. Yeah, okay, hey, that's just my.
Oh shit. Oh, fuck. Oh.
You, 'tis morning for love. 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 You, 'tis
You chase money for love.
I've just come to check CABEZO before the evening session, and I have to say, it actually looks pretty big. It's gonna be tasty. Okay, just a quick break from the action now. If you've been watching this video and you're interested in coming to Tenerife, then I'd 100% recommend you go check out Medana for you. All the places are always really clean and they've got everything you need, all the utilities. Just go check out the website and the link in the description, and they've got everything. They've got big villas for families, or they've got smaller places if you're on a budget, such as me and Henry. And yeah, hopefully we see you next year in Medana in one of his apartments. We're here in Tejita, which is just over from Medana. There's some nice south salt today, as you can see. So we're just going to get work on something. It's going to be fun.
From the side of ʟɪᴇᴛᴡᴇᴇᴜ, and I've never felt better since I let it go. You find out who your friends are when the city's cold. You speak like a child, and I've been reading the French press, and I've been disconnected. brother, don't you know? The jealousy's a curse, and what's worse is the silence. Strange, you're moving out of range.
Yeah, the trip this year, we went to Pozo I was there for 5 weeks.
I was there for 4 weeks.
And then I was here in Tenerife. I'm leaving today, but 3 weeks in Tenerife. Didn't really have a proper goal for the trip. All I knew is I wanted to try doubles and see how it went. And I think I have like a little bit where I feel like I could have done more, but also I'm happy with what I did, and it's a start.
Yeah, I feel like you always have that. I definitely really wanted to improve on my doubles as well, and land them clean, which I guess I did.
Yeah, you did some.
I landed some really clean ones, but still need to work on the technique, obviously. But
yeah, I think you and Lauren already had like a bit of a foundation from like other years, so I feel like you guys were ahead of me with that. Especially Lauren had a good technique.
He really worked on his technique.
Didn't quite get them, but I think it would only take like, especially you and Lauren, a couple more weeks, and then.
Yeah, I think for both of us, there's going to be a point where we put all the steps together, and then it's just going to click, and we can finally put them down more consistently. But it's just tough to remember all the steps going up the
It's
ramp.
a lot going on, and it's so quick. Everything's happening so quickly with those doubles. And
Gran Canaria was pretty good this year, I think. We had not as strong of winds that we usually have. Like, I was on 3-7 most of the time, and that was fine.
Like, I think other years it's windier, but sometimes it's not that nice to be fully overpowered on a 3-4 stupid.
Yeah.
So it was nice to have. We had I was on 3-4 and 3-7 a lot of days, like nice, and actually not that crazy. So it meant like we could like learn a lot more, I feel.
Yeah, it was just windy, but not like crazy poser style.
Yeah.
Plus we had some waves. I think this, in the last 4 or 5 years, I don't know how many times I've been to Pozo now, but this has definitely been the waviest I've had over there, which was great. So,
even on the flat days, it was like there's something there to jump. But yeah, the level this year there, I feel like it's every year it's like going up and up and up.
Yeah, especially
and every year you're trying to catch up, and like you think, oh, now I've got there, but then people are already going further, so then it's just catch up every year.
For me, I'm always comparing myself to the juniors, so like I'm looking at Marino, Miguel, Takuma, and
but they're not juniors anymore.
No, they're not juniors. Well, like, but they used to be.
We are.
That was no, we aren't. But that was the people that I used to compare myself to, and they're up there. And when I compare myself to them now, I'm comparing myself to the best in the world. Like they've stepped up that level of doing push forwards, doubles. It's crazy. Like they're up there. So
I think the young guys this year were like super strong. Everyone was pushing
really hard. But that's a great thing. Like I was also thinking about that. Like just with us as this group with Lau and you and me.
Yeah.
We always have someone who's out there is doing that's doing something or something else. Like I go out there, I do a double, and you see me like, okay, well I can do a double as well. Yeah. You go out and you do like a lot of way through 60s because you were working on them, and I'm like, okay, well I kind of need to do that as well to not fall behind.
Yeah.
And if you sail on your own a lot, you kind of just do what you feel like feels right in that moment maybe, or what you come up with, and then you forget about all the other things you can do. And I feel like this is just such a good way to get better and train and to push each other.
And it was cool. It was like we had like us lot, and then it was like Miguel Baptiste and Julian were out for a bit, and then like the Japanese guys, and there's all these like small groups, and obviously like Marino and all the local guys just always there. But it's nice that we had all these groups, like kind of mini groups pushing each other, but also everyone was
so a big
joining.
group. It's just everyone's on the water together and just
it's mental.
and hyping each other up. Like everyone's happy for someone else to land something big, which is so cool when you're in the water.
I feel like I just was way more comfortable this time than the first time in Pozo. I think everyone's first time is a bit of a shock.
Yeah. Was it your second time just now?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Feels like I've been there more, but you already go there and you already know what it's like, and you've got a base, and then this year I was able to just sort of build on it a bit.
It's the same thing for me here in Tenerife. Like, I don't really know the spot that well yet, or like I'm just getting used to the spot, and it's so different. You need to relearn. You need to like learn where to position yourself, which waves to be on, and need to get along with locals as well. You don't want to make them mad.
Yeah.
So it does take a while to get used to it and to fully start pushing.
Yeah.
And also then getting better.
Yeah, and I think like with these two spots, Pozo and like CABEZO, they're actually like super specific like spots. You hear people at home as well. They're always like, oh, the Canary events, like, oh, Pozo and Tenerife are just the same.
Yeah,
and it kind of annoys me because, okay, they maybe look at the same on camera sometimes, but they're completely different spots. Completely different. CABEZO is like a reef, and it's breaking in like one spot, and the timing's got to be perfect and everything. And Pozo is the same. It's like it's basically a point break
the wrong way.
The wrong way round, which you don't get often.
But what I also always like kind of feel is when I go to Pozo, everything is super tricky. It's so hard to land my back loops and everything else. And sometimes even when I'm there, I don't feel like I'm improving that much, just because it's so hard to land everything clean there. And then I go back home and I sail my spots at home again, and then I see the improvement.
Yeah. I feel like your improvements have definitely been going a lot higher. I feel like, and landing like pretty clean.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Yeah.
That's
what I see.
Yeah, the only thing that I'm missing or really want to improve on this trip is like push more my wave riding, because I love just to jump and fly high.
But your problem is, even in Tenerife, it's a wave ride spot, and I still jump. So yeah, I hope that I can at least get a few more days of sailing and just improving my wave rides. Yeah, you're here for like 2 more weeks, so you got a bit of time.
But the forecast looks bad. Like the whole time I've been in Tenerife, the forecast has been really tricky, and even the windy days, like when there was supposed to be a lot of wind, it just never fully came through. We had 2 proper windy days, and then it was always tricky, and the waves weren't that good either. But
as you said, like the forecast would show like 25, 35 knots, and basically you take 10 off the forecast. So
at least, like
even this year Tenerife, I have to say it's been a bit pants.
Yeah, I mean you've been here. Well, we've both been here for 3 weeks now.
Yeah.
And I'll be here for 2 more weeks, and if the forecast stays like it is now, it's like it's not been that many days in the water for 5 weeks of Tenerife.
It's been
crazy.
As I said, like Pozo, obviously it's always windy, but probably not as windy as normal.
Yeah.
Tenerife's been a bit weird, and I feel like the whole of Europe's been like
there's something
forest fires and flooding, so the whole weather system I feel like is just completely messed up a bit. But we got some days.
Yeah.
It was definitely better last year. We missed it.
I wasn't here, but
Nah, it's been a good trip.
Definitely.
I think
it's been fun.
You're always like, I feel like with these long trips at the end, maybe you're always like, oh, I could have done this or I could have done that. But then I think when you get home and you look back, you're like, okay, yeah, it was good, and I think I got better.
Yeah. Well, what happens is, before the trip, you might set yourself goals, and you're like, oh, I want to try that, I want to try that. But at the end of the day, the days where everything works out, where like your gear feels like perfect, where you feel good, where you get good waves, good wind, like it's not too much or whatever, and you can actually push, like are still limited, even though we've been here for 2 months. And those are the days you actually really need to like try all that stuff.
Yeah, because actually there's some days you go on the water and you don't really want to be on the water. Like sometimes you wake up and you just don't feel good, and it's more forced. And I feel like it's hard to sort of improve like that. But when you get to those days where you're feeling super fresh, super motivated, and those are the days where like
everything
you have to. I mean, those are the days like when I tried the doubles. Or It's probably the most slow, like, improving sport there is.
Probably, yeah.
It's up there because it just takes years.
Yeah,
Even if you're here 2 months, you're gonna improve, but to really like get to the next level, it takes years.
If you compare to skateboarding, like of course in skateboarding you can still have like you can feel good or not good on a day, but like the ramp, the board, everything is gonna be the same every single day, and you can just hit that jump like 1,000,000 times a day, and it's gonna be the same every single time. And in windsurfing, you might get one chance to try it in a whole day. You might get a couple, but every try that you do is slightly different. Every time the wind's different, and it's just so hard to line everything up and bring it together.
Go Canaries 2021. It's been a blast.
Yeah, good trip.
Good trip.
On to the next one.
On to the next adventure.